Guess who just got back from the food bank with a whole bunch of expired food? Food that expired over 5 months ago.
Last week, the number of service members coming out to get some went up by an all-time record of 34%. All the food ran out by mid-morning.
There should be no reason why y'all are serving people expired food. Are you going to eat some bread that has mold on it and it's 2 weeks expired?
Imagine walking into your local food bank and finding empty shelves, or getting moldy and expired food because that's all they have. It's not a distant possibility, it's happening right now across the US. And even military families who have never been paid enough are waiting in food bank lines thanks to the government shutdown. Families are lining up for help, but many times the donations and supplies just aren't there. So why are food banks running out of food in the richest country on earth? In this video, we'll uncover how rising grocery prices, inflation, and financial strain are draining America's last safety net, and what it means for millions of US households.
We've come a couple times before, but we haven't felt the actual need to come until the government shut down.
The Armed Services YMCA food pantry at Fort Hood was already familiar for Medaglia de Gregorio and her Army soldier husband. Now, with a shutdown hanging over their heads, they face uncertainty deep enough to make them wonder about their future.
It's very stressful when us thinking about having kids and stuff like that, like if we're even going to be able to afford it.
When you're thinking about you might also lose a paycheck on top of already living paycheck to paycheck, sometimes not even making it to paycheck without needing help, you can imagine the anxiety.
The pantry has been stocked up with food supplies, including vegetables, milk, eggs, and meat. But last week, the number of service members coming out to get some went up by an all-time record of 34%. All the food ran out by mid-morning, and this week, demand is expected to be higher still.
I was a single parent in the military, so I know how it is. And you got to feed your family.
Yeah.
This time, troops and families lined up out the door, grateful for the help and frustrated with lawmakers in Washington.
They're all acting like trying to blame each other when it's an easy solution to just have a conversation and not act like toddlers and shut the government down.
The Armed Forces Y wants service members to know this kind of support is there.
This isn't our first rodeo. We've been through pandemics and plane crashes and other forms. We'll get through this as a military family.
I'm just going to say that if our government goes into a shutdown, then Congress should not be getting paid. If our military members and federal workers aren't getting paid, neither should they. Let them get a taste of their own medicine. Some of the comments on this topic say, how many of us are one missed paycheck away from a food line? This is what class warfare looks like. We live in a corrupt oligarchy. We need ranked choice voting, ballot access, and more parties. My local food bank ran out of food while I was waiting in line last week. First time in years. It's bad out there. I'm pretty hungry and live in a vehicle. I work full time. There's no extra anything. There's always service members at food banks. Low pay, high cost of living. Shutdowns just make the problem more visible. The bloated military budget goes to contractors, weapons developers, not troop pay nor benefits.
So I've gotten the same comment about 4,000 times, which is, how can you afford a car, but you can't afford groceries? So tell me, what do we think can't afford food really means? Because part of this whole conversation that has really started to throw me off, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a family of four making $60,000 in the United States will be given $12,000 a year to buy groceries. But somehow, someone waiting hours in line at a food bank is preventing someone who needs it more from getting food. But wouldn't that person that needs it more be getting food stamps in the first place? Because food banks aren't just for people who have literally ran out of money. They're for people that might be putting food on a credit card and racking up debt. The food bank is one of the only places people can go to lower their expenses and make more room for rent and utilities and insurance and childcare and debt payments. Not to mention, half of the food was going to be thrown away because the grocery store couldn't sell it. So when did we decide you have to lose it all before you turn to your community for a little bit of help?
Treating food banks like the last option before literal starvation is like treating emergency rooms like primary care. You should go to a food bank before you're spending your last dollar. You should go to the doctor before it's an emergency. I understand healthcare is a whole different situation. I am a nurse. I see it. But the people who are saying don't treat emergency rooms like your doctor's office are the same people saying don't go to a food bank unless you're literally starving. Going to a food bank before you're starving is preventative care. Going to a food bank when you need a little bit of help to get through the month is preventative care. If If you wait until your credit cards are maxed out, your car is repossessed, you're homeless, that is a huge hole to crawl out of. Go to the food bank first. Go get a little bit of help so that you can make the dollars that you do have stretch further. I couldn't agree with that more. Food banks help prevent people from losing it all. I want people to keep their car, house, health insurance, etc., and be able to feed themselves and their families. People want poor people to have absolutely nothing. That's the stigma around people receiving any kind of assistance in the US, unfortunately, is like you have to be on the street with no money to your name, completely destitute before you can receive help. That's ludicrous. It makes absolutely no sense. Sounds like some propaganda that's been being fed to Americans for a long time.
I was excited about going to the food bank today. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't really much at the food bank today. And I mean, I can't be like super upset about that because it is based off of donations. And it's hard out here for everybody. I did manage to get diapers, so I don't have to worry about that. But other than that, it's really not a lot, y'all. And it's so hard out here right now. And it's like, is it wrong for me to be disappointed about the stuff from the food bank? Because like it's free and it's based off of donations. But man, after I put the stuff up, I have to go work Uber just so I can get some money to feed them for tonight. And then that doesn't even include the rest of the night for the week. So I'm a little upset, but I'm still gonna show y'all this haul because I'm still thankful at the same time. I'm thankful that I'm able to go to the food bank and I'm gonna go work Uber, but I am tired. I am tired. We got 2 cans of fruit. We got the canned goods that we get every week, y'all. I've gotten so much spaghetti noodles from the pantry that I'm just going to use a couple cans of the diced tomatoes, and I think I have another can of spaghetti sauce from a week or 2 ago that I'm gonna just use to make some spaghetti, but I have to work Uber to go and get the ground meat. That's like, woo! Lord, 2 bags of chips, a bag of onions, peanut butter, another box of mac and cheese, oats, rice, and beans, and that's what we got today. I feel like I need a break.
Some of the comments say you are allowed to be both grateful and disappointed. Mix that peanut butter with a little soy sauce, water, and garlic powder if you have it. Toss a box of spaghetti noodles and saute any veggies you have on hand. It's a yummy Thai-style noodle dish. I love little helpful tips like that, don't you? One comment says, but you have so much traffic on your account. Surely you're paid from TikTok? I don't think people understand how creators make money, and TikTok is known for being one of like the least paid for some of the highest views. So you can't just assume that because somebody has a lot of views that they're making a lot of money. It just doesn't work like that. I didn't hear this story as you were disappointed at the food bank. I heard that you were disappointed because your family needs food and you hoped you would be able to feed them more from this. I hope things turn around for you.
The Agriculture Department is cutting about $1 billion worth of funding to schools and food banks. The programs let them buy food directly from local farmers and others. This will hit school children's meals as well as people who depend on food banks. Farmers and ranchers who relied on the funding could also be hurt. The Agriculture Department says the programs don't, quote, effectuate the goals of the agency.
Some of the comments say nothing says pro-life like starving kids. Ain't that the truth? Starving children and destroying our local farms. Hate is exhausting. America first equals starving children and no health care. Yeah, I agree with all of those. That sounds like the United States.
You want to know what's really disappointing? Y'all got these food programs, right? And these food pantries where people can go to get food, right? Which we appreciate it by all means. But y'all give out expired food. Like, I just left one myself, and I ain't trying to sound ungrateful, but are you gonna eat a black banana that's molded? No. Are you gonna eat some bread that has mold on it and it's 2 weeks expired? No. So just because, you know, y'all think everyone's homeless and they're junkies and they're kids and all this stuff, y'all feed that to them, which is very disappointing. Just because they're on drugs or kids or whatever the case is doesn't mean that they deserve expired food. That should honestly be illegal. There should be no reason why a thing of chicken is almost a month out of date and smells like. There should be no reason why y'all are serving people expired food. And then we get sick and then y'all cover each other's so nobody can sue you. Start serving people better food. It don't matter if they're Or if they're homeless, they deserve.
Some of the comments say, my mother is a senior. She insists on going to these nearly rotten vegetables, expired everything. I do appreciate them for helping her, but seriously. I take the shady fruit, take it home, cut off the bad parts and make up something good. I canned up 6 pints of pear chutney. You don't want it, I'll use it. I was thinking that when she was talking about the black banana, I was thinking like, I think some people would probably make banana bread out of that. However, I do think that people shouldn't be getting expired food, and I know it's not the food pantry's fault necessarily. Like, they're just given donations. I honestly just wish that the system wasn't so broken and that people didn't need to have to go to food pantries in the first place, and that Americans were given more support.
A while back, there was somebody who made a video, and I think it went around called like the ungrateful like food bank lady or something. Long story short, she got a bunch of food, none of it was fresh, she couldn't eat any of it. And so many people were talking about how the food bank does not give out expired food. And there's a difference between the sell by and the use by date. And, you know, food banks aren't allowed to give out expired food. Guess who just got back from the food bank with a whole bunch of expired food? Food that expired over 5 months ago. Food that says enjoy by, not sell by. Enjoy by, use by. So let's go through the box and see how much food is not expired. I have 2 of these that are not expired. I got all these cereal bars that say use by today. I did get 2 boxes of these and they don't expire for another 3 months. I got this bag of cereal that says Best Buy and the date was yesterday. I did get 1 head of fresh cauliflower, 1 salad that expires tomorrow, and 1 thing of milk that expires in 3 days. And I got all of this, and all of this expired last November. Expired, not sell by, expired by. So in total, out of the entire box, I have 2 things of rice that aren't expired, some fruit snacks that aren't expired, milk that isn't expired, and a salad that expires tomorrow. Everything else is expired.
Some of the comments say, when in university I accessed the food bank, I could only eat the canned fruit. Everything else was expired. I also worked in home support and picked up food bank hampers. It was always expired food. Got a can of 9-year expired canned coconut milk from a food bank last year. 9 years? We 100% deserve food that isn't expired. Unfortunately, there are going to be people out there that just say these people are so ungrateful. They should be grateful for any little bit they get. With the US government cutting even more social safety programs that benefit people in poverty. I mean, these food banks are already strapped. They're going to be even more strapped. Like, this is a huge, vicious cycle. And in the wealthiest country on earth, people should not be going hungry. Maybe that makes me a radical.
Before sunrise, workers at Feeding South Florida move, load, and stack pallets of food and household goods onto trucks. With the help of volunteers, this flurry of activity has allowed the organization to distribute food to 1.2 million people throughout 4 Florida counties. People like Rosalind Budget, who lives on a fixed income and comes here every 2 months.
I'm able to get a balanced meal in on a daily basis, you know.
And if you didn't have this, what would happen?
I probably would starve.
Starve?
I probably would starve.
But the aid she relies on has been reduced. The Department of Government Efficiency cut funding for about $1 billion worth of USDA programs. For Feeding South Florida, the cuts amount to 40% of its $37 million annual budget.
You're already seeing empty shelves, essentially.
We've been seeing empty racks since February. These cuts have really made an impact, not just on our ability to serve, but on the family's ability to thrive in South Florida and across the country.
Some of the comments say, it pains me to see people who are genuinely struggling to pay their bills, and many fall short on food money because they have to pay something else. So the supposed answer is stop being lazy and work hard for your own provisions. Meanwhile, price hikes and low pay for workers, profits and tax breaks for the ultra rich. Brilliant. We have more millionaires than any other country. We can afford to make sure the nation is fed.
Take a look at this pantry haul. We got so much awesome stuff today. I'm so excited. We got 3 cases of these Oscar Mayer bites. It's like a big kid Lunchable. It's got turkey, white cheddar, and crackers. We got 3 cases of those. We got 2 almond milks. Honey mustard dipping sauce from Burger King. We got 8 of these nachos and cheese Lunchables with the Capri Suns. We got 8 of these mini Cinnies. They're caramel. The kids are gonna love those. We got a big bag of potatoes. We got about 30 of these crispy grilled cheese sandwiches from Starbucks. My 5-year-old was so pumped for these. 4 bags of pizza quesadillas that are frozen. This is 2 bags of Dannon vanilla yogurt. I'm gonna put them into mason jars and put it in the fridge. I might even freeze one of these because yogurt freezes wonderfully. 4 big heads of cabbage, and there's 15 cucumbers down there. We got 4 bags of pasta, and then there's 5 bags of onion rings. I'm excited for those. 4 bags of chocolate cookies, 4 loaves of bread, some questionable looking tomatoes. We'll sort through those. A whole bunch of grapes, 6 gallons of milk, some Lipton green tea, 4 big bags of chicken drumsticks, and 8 bags of Ruffles potato chips. Look at that haul, guys. I'm very grateful for this one.
So the creator of this video said that she went to a food bank called Forgotten Harvest, which is in the Metro Detroit and Southeast Michigan area. That food haul is incredible. Fortunately, she said in the comments that she shares a lot of that with her neighbors and family, because clearly that's going to be too much for one family to go through before it expired. That's fantastic. It's great to know that there are great solid food banks out there who are really able to help their community, not to shame the other ones who are giving expired food. They need more donations. I totally get that.
Like, I feel like a lot of these places they be giving out food and stuff, they be having this mentality to where the people that come for help, they should be grateful for whatever they get, because it's like, if you're coming to us for help, whether the food is expired or not, you should be grateful and you shouldn't have a complaint. But that's not okay. Like, just because I'm coming here for help does not mean that I should have to eat expired food, or I should be okay with the food being expired. Like, me on a regular, I don't eat stuff in my house that's past the expiration date. Like, if it's even getting too close to the expiration date, I'm not going to eat it. So it just be crazy for me. Like, another one that's in Bethesda, I went to the Bethesda location, but the joint is called So What Else. And the first time I went, it was pretty cool. The second time that I went, it wasn't on the weekend, it was like during the week or whatever. And when I say that the meat that they was giving out was like brown steak, like the steak looked like it was cooked. Like, it was so bad. They was just giving out a whole bunch of it was old.
Some of the comments say, I literally just said that these companies donate food that is expired or about to expire to these food pantries. And then what people don't realize is that these companies are able to get a tax write-off for donating this food. But if they're giving practically expired food, I mean, is that fair? You are not wrong. People need to stop with the selective outrage. Who the hell wants to eat expired food? Y'all deserve better. Be for real. My mindset is, if I won't feed it to my family, I won't feed it to others either. Our food pantry does not hand out expired food. We also look at it as if we don't eat it or cook it, we don't hand it out. Good for them. So this video shows a woman walking through the food bank line, and I can't play the audio because it's music, but it says the real horror movie is realizing that food bank lines are just as long as they were during COVID. And that's the reality of the situation with all the mass layoffs, the devaluing of the US dollar, and the current economic crisis. These food bank lines are only going to get longer. If you are available to donate food, please do. Or if you need the food, please go to a food bank and seek help, because I don't think anyone should be ashamed for getting food and trying to feed themselves and their family. Some of the comments say, we are too rich a country to have this many hungry people. The creator of this video, Food Bank for NYC, said, for clarity, when we say COVID, we are referring to the lines at the height of the pandemic. This is why cutting funding to school food programs is so dangerous. We have so many hungry families across this country, and cutting public services and funding is just going to make this worse. While the system is broken in the US, I am so thankful for the food banks that we do have. And that's going to do it for today. I hope that you will check out one or both of these videos on screen next to me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.